In a recent episode of Fox and Friends, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt strongly criticized Senator Chris Van Hollen for his trip to El Salvador. The controversy stems from Van Hollen's visit with a suspected member of the notorious MS-13 gang. This visit has ignited a heated debate, drawing attention to the complex issues surrounding immigration, gang violence, and political accountability. The core of Leavitt's criticism revolves around the appropriateness of a U.S. senator engaging with an individual linked to MS-13. The gang, known for its brutality and transnational criminal activities, has been a significant concern for both the United States and Central American countries. Leavitt's statements suggest that such interactions could be perceived as undermining efforts to combat gang violence and could even be seen as a form of tacit support or recognition. The Fox News segment highlights Leavitt's direct and forceful language, emphasizing phrases like "shame on the Democrats." This choice of words underscores the political dimension of the issue, framing it as a point of contention between the Trump administration and the Democratic Party. The narrative presented by Fox News positions Leavitt as a staunch defender of law and order, contrasting her stance with what they portray as a more lenient approach by the Democrats. The context of this criticism is crucial. The Trump administration has consistently taken a hardline stance on immigration and gang-related issues, often emphasizing the need for stricter border controls and tougher penalties for gang members. This approach is reflected in their policies and public statements, making Leavitt's comments consistent with the broader administration agenda. Senator Van Hollen's motivations for the trip remain a key point of contention. While his supporters might argue that the visit was part of a fact-finding mission or an attempt to understand the complexities of the situation, critics like Leavitt interpret it as a misstep that could be exploited by those seeking to downplay the severity of MS-13's crimes. The differing interpretations highlight the deep political divisions that often shape the discourse surrounding immigration and criminal justice. The incident also raises questions about the role of media in shaping public opinion. Fox News, known for its conservative leanings, presents a narrative that is highly critical of Van Hollen, amplifying Leavitt's accusations and framing the story in a way that aligns with its audience's political sensibilities. This illustrates how media outlets can influence the way events are perceived, potentially exacerbating political polarization. The story continues to develop with potential implications for the upcoming elections. The focus on immigration and gang violence is likely to resonate with certain segments of the American electorate, potentially influencing their voting decisions. The way the story is framed and disseminated could therefore play a significant role in shaping the political landscape. The core of the controversy surrounding Senator Van Hollen's trip lies in his interaction with a suspected MS-13 member. MS-13, or Mara Salvatrucha, is a transnational criminal gang that originated in Los Angeles and has spread throughout the United States, Central America, and beyond. Their activities include drug trafficking, extortion, and violent crimes, often characterized by extreme brutality. The gang's presence has been a major concern for law enforcement agencies on both sides of the border. The specific details of Van Hollen's interaction with the suspected MS-13 member are crucial to understanding the criticism. The Fox News segment and related reports emphasize the potential implications of a U.S. senator engaging with such an individual. Critics argue that this interaction could be seen as legitimizing the gang's activities or sending a message that the U.S. is not taking the threat of MS-13 seriously. The political fallout from this incident has been significant. The Trump administration, through figures like Karoline Leavitt, has seized on this opportunity to highlight what they perceive as the Democrats' soft stance on crime and immigration. This narrative aligns with the administration's broader strategy of portraying themselves as tough on crime and committed to border security. The timing of this incident is also noteworthy. With the upcoming elections looming, both parties are keen to frame the narrative in a way that benefits them politically. The focus on immigration and gang violence is a potent issue that resonates with many voters, particularly those who prioritize law and order. The controversy surrounding Van Hollen's trip provides a platform for both sides to articulate their positions and appeal to their respective bases. The Democratic response to the criticism has been varied. Some have defended Van Hollen's actions, arguing that his trip was part of a legitimate fact-finding mission aimed at understanding the root causes of gang violence and immigration. They contend that engaging with individuals involved in these issues is essential for developing effective solutions. Others have remained silent or offered more cautious responses, perhaps wary of the political implications. The media's role in shaping public perception cannot be overstated. Fox News, in particular, has played a significant role in amplifying Leavitt's criticisms and framing the story in a way that aligns with its conservative audience. This highlights the power of media outlets to influence public opinion and shape the political discourse. The incident also underscores the complexities of international relations and the challenges of addressing transnational criminal organizations. The fight against MS-13 requires cooperation between multiple countries, and any perceived missteps by U.S. officials can have far-reaching consequences. The debate surrounding Van Hollen's trip also raises questions about the balance between political accountability and the need for nuanced engagement with complex issues. While it is essential for public officials to be held accountable for their actions, it is also crucial to recognize the need for understanding the root causes of problems like gang violence and immigration. To fully understand the implications of Senator Van Hollen's trip, it's essential to consider the broader context of US-El Salvador relations and the ongoing struggle against gang violence in the region. El Salvador has long been grappling with the pervasive influence of gangs like MS-13 and Barrio 18, which have contributed to high levels of crime and violence. The United States has played a significant role in El Salvador, providing aid and support to combat gang violence and promote stability. However, the effectiveness of these efforts has been a subject of ongoing debate. The complex interplay of poverty, corruption, and weak governance has often hampered progress. The rise of MS-13 can be traced back to the mass deportations of gang members from the United States to El Salvador in the 1990s. This policy, while intended to reduce gang activity in the U.S., inadvertently strengthened the gangs in El Salvador, as deported members established and expanded their operations in their home country. This historical context is crucial for understanding the current challenges. The El Salvadorian government's approach to combating gangs has varied over the years, with some administrations adopting a hardline stance and others pursuing more nuanced strategies. The effectiveness of these approaches has been a subject of intense debate, with human rights organizations often raising concerns about abuses and extrajudicial killings. Senator Van Hollen's trip occurred within this complex context, and his interactions with suspected gang members raise questions about the role of U.S. officials in addressing these issues. Critics argue that such interactions could undermine efforts to hold gang members accountable and could even be seen as a form of tacit support. The debate surrounding Van Hollen's trip also highlights the challenges of balancing political accountability with the need for nuanced engagement. While it's essential for public officials to be held accountable for their actions, it's also crucial to recognize the need for understanding the root causes of problems like gang violence and immigration. The issue of immigration is inextricably linked to gang violence in El Salvador. Many individuals flee the country to escape the pervasive threat of gangs, seeking refuge in the United States and other countries. This has created a complex humanitarian crisis, with thousands of people risking their lives to seek safety. The Trump administration's approach to immigration has been characterized by a focus on border security and stricter enforcement. This approach has been criticized by human rights organizations who argue that it fails to address the root causes of migration and can lead to the mistreatment of vulnerable individuals. The controversy surrounding Van Hollen's trip underscores the political dimensions of these issues. Both parties are keen to frame the narrative in a way that benefits them politically, with the upcoming elections looming. The focus on immigration and gang violence is a potent issue that resonates with many voters, particularly those who prioritize law and order. The role of media in shaping public perception of Senator Van Hollen's trip and its implications cannot be overstated. Different media outlets have presented varying narratives, contributing to a polarized understanding of the events. Fox News, as previously mentioned, has taken a particularly critical stance, amplifying the White House's accusations and framing the story as a clear-cut case of Democratic leniency towards gang members. This approach aligns with Fox News's broader editorial stance, which often emphasizes law and order and portrays the Trump administration as tough on crime. The network's coverage has likely resonated with its conservative audience, reinforcing their existing beliefs about immigration and gang violence. Other media outlets have offered more nuanced perspectives, exploring the complexities of US-El Salvador relations and the challenges of addressing gang violence. Some have highlighted the importance of understanding the root causes of these issues rather than simply focusing on punitive measures. The differing media narratives have contributed to a fragmented public understanding of the events. Some individuals may view Van Hollen's trip as a serious misstep, while others may see it as a legitimate attempt to gather information and promote dialogue. The impact of social media on public perception has also been significant. The widespread sharing of news articles and commentary has amplified the controversy, reaching a broader audience and potentially influencing public opinion. Social media platforms have become a battleground for competing narratives, with users often engaging in heated debates and sharing partisan content. The controversy surrounding Van Hollen's trip highlights the challenges of navigating the complex media landscape. In an era of increasing polarization, it can be difficult for individuals to discern fact from fiction and to form informed opinions. The incident also raises questions about the role of public officials in communicating with the media. Senator Van Hollen's response to the criticism has been closely scrutinized, with some observers questioning his handling of the situation. The way public officials engage with the media can significantly impact their credibility and public image. The media's focus on the political dimensions of the controversy has also overshadowed the underlying issues of gang violence and immigration. While the political fallout is undoubtedly significant, it's essential to remember the human cost of these issues. The debate surrounding Van Hollen's trip has also shed light on the challenges of international diplomacy. U.S. officials must navigate complex relationships with foreign governments, balancing competing interests and priorities. The incident underscores the potential for missteps and misunderstandings in these interactions. The media's role in shaping public perception is a complex and multifaceted issue. While media outlets have a responsibility to report the facts accurately and fairly, they also have a significant influence on how those facts are interpreted. The controversy surrounding Senator Van Hollen's trip to El Salvador and his interaction with a suspected MS-13 member has left a lasting impact on the political landscape. The incident has reignited debates about immigration, gang violence, and the responsibilities of public officials. The implications of this event extend beyond the immediate political fallout, raising broader questions about U.S. foreign policy and the challenges of addressing transnational criminal organizations. One of the most significant implications is the heightened political polarization surrounding immigration and crime. The Trump administration's aggressive rhetoric and the media's framing of the story have contributed to a divisive narrative, pitting Republicans against Democrats. This polarization makes it difficult to find common ground and develop effective solutions to complex problems. The incident has also underscored the challenges of balancing political accountability with the need for nuanced engagement. While it's essential for public officials to be held accountable for their actions, it's also crucial to recognize the need for understanding the root causes of problems like gang violence and immigration. Van Hollen's supporters argue that his trip was part of a legitimate fact-finding mission aimed at gathering information and promoting dialogue. However, critics argue that his interaction with a suspected gang member was a serious misstep that could undermine efforts to combat gang violence. The controversy has also highlighted the complexities of US-El Salvador relations. The two countries have a long and intertwined history, and the challenges of addressing gang violence and immigration require close cooperation. However, the incident has strained relations, with some El Salvadorian officials expressing concern about the implications of Van Hollen's actions. The incident has also raised questions about the role of U.S. officials in addressing transnational criminal organizations. MS-13 is a global threat, and the fight against this gang requires coordinated efforts from multiple countries. The incident has underscored the potential for missteps and misunderstandings in these interactions. The debate surrounding Van Hollen's trip has also shed light on the challenges of media coverage in a polarized environment. Different media outlets have presented varying narratives, contributing to a fragmented public understanding of the events. This highlights the importance of critical thinking and media literacy. The controversy has also had implications for the upcoming elections. The focus on immigration and gang violence is a potent issue that resonates with many voters, particularly those who prioritize law and order. The incident has provided a platform for both parties to articulate their positions and appeal to their respective bases. Looking forward, the incident has highlighted the need for a more nuanced and comprehensive approach to addressing gang violence and immigration. This approach must include efforts to address the root causes of these problems, such as poverty, corruption, and weak governance. It must also include efforts to promote cooperation between the United States and other countries in the region. The ongoing debate surrounding Van Hollen's trip reflects the deep divisions within American society. It also underscores the challenges of navigating complex international relations and addressing transnational criminal organizations. The incident serves as a reminder of the importance of thoughtful and responsible public discourse. The ramifications of this event will likely continue to unfold, influencing policy and public opinion for some time to come.